If I do this, oh yeah, that is going to cover that up. Unsurprising. Okay. Few reports of dropping audio. Probably, fingers crossed, hopefully only in the live chat experience. I did recently change how things work a bit, so it's always possible when changing to make things worse. And I'm just gonna try to get a sense of whether I did that or not. The question is, when can I skip here? And is that going to actually happen? So this... Right. Don't skip keyframes. So otherwise you have to get an actual frame. If it's nothing, then it's dropped. So obviously it'll be skipped if we don't receive it before we're supposed to play it. Let's go to where shift is actually used. Good thing I named it shift, which is definitely not the same name as other things. Well, then quadruple our ideal buffer. So, if your ideal buffer size... Hello, Spongy. This is not a game stream. This is a dev stream. If you're at all interested in watching a developer develop, then welcome. Otherwise, I stream games on Saturdays. Too much times 2. Right, and the too much is already... Wait, what? I thought max... Right, so it has to be at least 250 milliseconds to be too much. Fine. I'm questioning all of my decisions because it's just so intricate. Thought I was developing photographs, says Kyle in chat. Well, you know, deving something. There's also the video frames not getting closed correctly. How is that even happening? Because it decodes here. Like, it should be that decode... Yeah, chunk.close should always... It found the wrong close. Ugh. I give up on finding that close. Right, okay, so... When would the buffer suddenly change? If it gets a bunch of data at once... Is there a cleverer way to do this? Because if it gets a bunch of data at once, it's still going to get one frame at a time, which means that while ultimately it's going to figure out this reaction, In the short term, it will go... Well, wait, no, because in the short term, one packet at a time. It's not just going to drop them all. The chunk, it decodes the chunk. Always love magic numbers stuck in here. This is 2 milliseconds. Just a brown number. It's just there. Hello, Spec Lad. What type is chunk? Oh, okay, right. It's incoming data chunk. My font is very wide, Spec Lad. My font is super wide because it's originally square. Like, this is the Commodore 64 font. So it's a chunky boy. But I like that it's the Commodore 64 font. You're just gonna have to deal with that. I like my chonky font. My eyes aren't good. Oh, this is the case. If the track isn't configured yet, but it gets a frame for it, it doesn't close that frame. It also doesn't close the frame here, but it's not important here. Why doesn't it just always close the chunk when it's done with it? That's the obvious thing to do. Just a random bug fix. Exactly, Spec Lad. This is my Commodore 64. What the hell? Math.min. Oh, okay, right. Don't make the next chunk be forever away. Fine. I wrote all of this code. That doesn't mean that it doesn't make me go, what the hell? This is on Ennuicastr, Spec Lad. There's some complaints about audio dropout. I'm just trying to decide if there's something real happening here, or it's just, you know, on my incredibly terrible connection, I'm getting audio dropout. And even though I would get that on literally any system, I blame your system. It is like it's a heavier task to chat on Ennuicastr since it's also recording, and so sometimes it'll just push networks over the edge. But you know, I'm just checking if there's anything glaring. It would have been in the drop mechanics if it was anywhere. That all seemed fine. That chunk close is a correct change. Let me make sure it doesn't break the build. Boy, this is a slow VM. Not VM, VPS, which is a VM. Okay, that was actually a distraction from what I want to be doing today. Good. I'm in the beta branch. Let me make sure it's up to date. It is. Type LSCPU, it says Becklad. An entire one core to be had. This is not the actual Ennuicastr server, by the way. This is a test bed that I use because it's inexpensive, and you really don't need that much to run the server side. But you know, this kind of dev stuff being slow is annoying. Okay. So at this point, I think I am receiving the AEC data. Well, that's the worst place for that window to be. Testing, testing. That is what Ennuicastr looks like. Oh, I didn't think I had the watcher icon on the testbed server. I guess I do. I don't have the sound effects there because there's no real point to it. I don't remember why I opened the console. Oh, yes, I do remember why I opened the console, but unfortunately, this is not the console to be doing it in. This console... Sorry, Firefox, I love you, but this console is not as good as Chrome's. So that it eats incoming audio waves. Uh, just to sort of complete that thought. Oh God, you're not hearing this. Of course, you're not hearing what I'm hearing. Uh, I don't have it sending the audio through, but trust me, I'm hearing myself here. So theoretically, that shouldn't have happened. Did I not? Oh my! Did I not install this version? What I've been working on is automatic echo cancellation, and that error, that warning message should not have been there. I haven't even built this version. Oh my God! Okay. Not using Opera GX, asks Spongy in chat. There are only 3 browsers. There's Firefox, there's Chrome, and there's Safari. Everything else, including Opera GX, is just Chrome in drag. Conqueror is teenage Safari, Speclad. .144p, incredible. 480p, given my font, is undoubtedly good enough. Okay, now that I actually have this version built so that I can use it. What about Lynx, asks Speclad? Shockingly, Lynx doesn't have the wherewithal to run software like this. Okay, well, the fact that that didn't even load indicates something is terribly awry. Oh yeah, that looks pretty awry. This is why you never ever make makefiles with pipes like that. It doesn't know the difference between success and failure. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. There we go. This is also why you use a testbed server and never do any interesting development on the real server. Okay, I'm not that surprised by that. Exports is not defined? I am that surprised by that. I'm just gonna make clean, do a fresh make from scratch. I don't trust that this all actually made with the latest libraries in place. You know, when I say there are only 3 web browsers, the present tense is there. Like, I don't care about all these web browsers that once technically existed and, oh, maybe they think they still exist. Oh, I know. Oh, okay, there we go. Good, good. Okay. Testing, testing. Ooh. What the hell am I hearing? Which one is doing such a nightmare? Wow. I mean, I know you can't hear what I'm hearing, but this is extremely wrong. There's no error here. This might just be Firefox being Firefox. It's very scratchy and crackly. I don't think this is like a playback issue. I think it's just not capturing correctly. Let me just try reloading and see if it's just Firefox being Firefox. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Still pretty wonky. Interesting. Ciao, Speclad. Huh. Suddenly I have a new bug to test. Is this real? What is my Vim color scheme? Asketh Tiago in chat. The color scheme given here? I feel like original GVim, it was Tort. NeoVim, I don't really remember. But also, I'm running this in the console, so it's more what's my console color scheme. Okay, what is up with this capture? You know what? It is actually worth my while to let y'all in on what I'm hearing here. So let me put this on a channel that will actually go through. And now you can hear that it sounds real bad. So, good. I got a bug to fix. Trying to think, because I don't think I've tested this on Firefox before. And for all that I love Firefox, its audio is a real dumpster fire. Testing, testing. Yeah, this is a real problem. This is not a fantastical, hypothetical problem. Just trying to see if there was anything in the log that might suggest what's going on. Looks like absolutely not. This has to be in the worker, I think. Because I didn't really change how capture works. I wonder if this is a sampling rate issue. Do I have it actually using the AAC audio right now? No. What the? It's always my favorite when something that definitely shouldn't work works perfectly, and something that definitely should work does not. Testing. So somehow I really botched the non-echo canceled audio. Awesome. What did I do? That is the question, Spongy. So I do always get back, even so the actual AEC library can only run at certain sample rates, so I'm just running it at 48 kilohertz. But I'm always converting it back, so like all of my data is at the same sample rate. The question is, so I suppose what I definitely do differently yeah, let's see how this interacts with noise suppression. Testing. No. Testing. Testing. It does not interact with noise reduction at all. Hello, Joshua. Welcome. Get my input buffer. This is driving me crazy. I'm going to close these connections. That is not the stream crapping itself, Joshua. That is my software crapping itself. I hope so. I hope that's my software crapping itself and not the stream crapping itself. Yeah. That was the authentic sounds of beta quality software that I had not yet tested on Firefox, and I'm glad I did. Yeah, that was nothing to do with the stream. That was actually on Ennuicastr making that sound. Okay, I'm paying NR in, right, fine. Even it's not using the noise reduction though, so that can't be the reason. I feel like somewhere I must just be doing a sample rate thing or producing a weird amount of audio or something. Like I should just be using the actual input buffer at this point. Get it into the VAD. Check the VAD. Okay, the output buffer should just be the entire noise reduction buffer. if I'm using noise reduction. The input buffer if I'm not. I just copy the entire thing. I know that the input buffer is good, because if it's good through echo cancellation... output. Is it conceivable that I aliased something and it's actually botching the original input buffer? I don't think so. So NRN is always the right buffer to use here. But again, it doesn't actually matter if noise reduction is happening or not, so it doesn't have to do with the output of noise reduction. All that matters is echo cancellation, which shouldn't be touching the input at this point. I'm wondering if somewhere I'm accidentally becoming dependent on the duration of the echo cancellation buffer. But ultimately, the only sort of master of duration is just the length of the actual buffer I send. I'm molto confused. Well, when you're molto confused, just start tearing things out until you manage not to break things. You know, it should be completely harmless to create the AUC3 object, so let's just tear this out. Just stick a math.random on this so I know I'm not getting weird caching effects. Testing. 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 Okay, well, it's certainly not like going crazy. So it is something to do with the echo cancellation, even though I'm not using the echo cancellation buffer. So how does this affect things? The echo cancellation input is the input buffer. Let's do something obviously ridiculous. So now I'm still generating the echo cancel data, but I'm literally just dropping it on the floor. It's just gone. Just unused entirely. Testing, testing. Interesting. I should get this view. Testing, testing. Is it? Is it? There must be some kind of aliasing happening. The great thing about JavaScript is it's not C, and so you don't have problems with aliasing pointers. Ha 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 ha! That should be the only place where the input buffer can be aliased. How could it, like... Because it has to copy it into the memory space of AEC regardless, so I don't even understand how it's conceivable that it could affect this. But I also don't understand what else could conceivably be the issue, because I had this, and in fact, I'm leaving it that way. It does use partial. Okay, okay. Because the buffer has to be of some kind of size that the echo canceller supports. So maybe what's actually happening is sort of between frames. If anybody is like listening along for ASMR reasons and wants me to explain any of my thoughts beyond the vague thinking out loud that I'm doing, I'm happy to just ask. Or just listen for ASMR, or just don't listen at all. Testing, testing. That didn't fix it. How strange. I mean, it simply can't be that just performing echo cancellation at all breaks everything. But it sure does taste that way, doesn't it? Because now it's not even getting the real buffer. It's just getting an alias. And I'm not giving the buffer as output either. There is this. Okay, wait a second. Okay. Right, on Firefox I'm actually using audio worklets. No, Joey, far less exciting than that. Yes, okay, okay. On this, I'm actually using audio worklets, which means that the buffer size is like 128 samples or something. It's ludicrously short, which is too short to do any echo cancellation, which means the EC buffer is going to be... Okay, okay, I suddenly understand. So if I actually have a size at all, then I do want to use the EC buffer. Otherwise, I don't want to use the input as the EC buffer, because that just means I would have brain gone. I don't want to use the input, because then I would be repeating audio that had and hadn't gone through the EC. But if I just give it like an empty, not empty, zero float array, so now there's no situation under which it's just returning early and just ignoring the packet entirely. That has to be it. That has to be it. Right, except the buffer is just a float 32 array. Okay. Zero modulo anything is zero, so that should be fine. The question is, am I going to divide by zero somewhere in here? Yeah, I cannot have spec bleach buff size equals zero. That's not gonna fly. This feels like a bizarre check to do. If the length is actually set, if it does in fact have a length. And yeah, I had to do the same here too. Oh, wait. This is, yeah, okay. If there's no AEC, then it's impossible for it to be of length 0. It's just the AEC that can do weird shit. And again, okay, spec bleach font size is fine. Okay. Okay. I am not convinced that that will solve it. Just for efficiency's sake, I'm going to go down here and only do the rest of this if there is actually anything to output. I don't want to be sending 0 length frames all the way through the entire system. Go ahead and encode this 0 length frame. That's fun. That ought to do it. I am confident. Always announce when you're confident. It never goes wrong. Testing. There we go. Coming back over to here. Slightly high-pitched because that's just something that Firefox does. Isn't that annoying? It's like catching up at the very beginning or something. Okay, with echo cancellation on, there was obviously a click while it turned on, but that's fine. With noise reduction off, this isn't a very noisy mic, so I can barely hear the difference. With echo cancellation off, now I should be able to hear echo cancellation if I actually have echo, of course. So let's turn both of these on. I know you can only hear one of these. Don't you worry about it. So theoretically, if I apply echo cancellation on both of these, it should basically ruin everything. Testing. Boy, howdy, is that doing nothing. Sigh. Why is that doing nothing? That shouldn't be doing nothing. Testing. Am I mentally missing something? The thing that I said was I was confident in. I was correct. Oh, look at that. Copyright dates. need to verify that I'm actually receiving render data. The best way to do that is with printf debugging. Everybody loves printf debugging. Oh yeah, that's definitely receiving render data. Oh, now it sort of seems to be working. Maybe I'm just expecting a little bit too much of it. Oh yeah, that's going to nothing. Okay. I was just I guess yeah, it can't possibly pick it up as an echo if it's literally the same time. It has to actually be an echo. I was expecting magic. That was maybe a little bit too much. But if I actually give it something it can analyze and cancel, like you'll notice it cancels it perfectly. Okay. So AEC does seem to be coming through correctly. Now the question is it recording correctly? I hope you're enjoying the sound E, Spongy. That's already not promising. Because if it was correctly recording it, it should have known. That's bad. Just in case. This is accepting data X messages, and if it wasn't accepting data X messages, it would have just rejected the entire thing. Unless I'm not sending data X messages. I should be sending data X messages. Did I remember to actually add the metadata for that? Yes. Right here. Subtrack. I'm sure that joke means something to someone who isn't me, Spongy. Wait, sub ID versus local ID. Did I screw that up? No, that's fine. Yeah. So this is the subtract that it's written on. Even if this was 0, given that this just starts empty, this ought to write out the subtract. Like, if nothing else, it has to get to this point. And yet... I don't have hex edit? Are you kidding me? To install hex edit on that particular system, I'm going to actually need to go to a different window. I use hex edit because it was the hex editor installed by default in Mandrake Linux 20 years ago. And it has literally not changed. I don't think there has been a single change to hex edit in at least 20 years. Yeah, definitely no subtracks recorded. Maybe the problem's on this end. Maybe I'm not actually capturing the subtract data. Okay, let me add the fixes I've already made. That first part was not a fix. That was a test. Let's not put extra pressure on the memory manager. So the question is this actually implemented? So I got distracted from this task. I guess I'm done with the AEC Firefox problems. Let's just do that. So I'll check whether I ever got a request for EC data in the first place. Yes. It has a port, as it should. The port appears to be the string object message port. If it... I'm just console logging the object, so this should be an actual, like, debugging view of the object. I don't know, maybe Firefox just turns message ports into the string? That's deeply confusing if it did that. That's like a message port .to string. Just in case. Constructor. Just in case. This makes no sense, but just in case nothing makes any sense. Okay, it is actually a message port. Fine. Firefox, work with me here. I keep doing that. The let is here. Am I honestly this stupid? Wait, why would this even compile? Because this should not, like, the let down here should not be in scope up here. So this should just fail to compile. Why didn't TypeScript complain if that's the problem? Oop. No, it's very much there. That's just even more confusing. Every solution is 10 more problems. I guess I should check on this side whether it's actually receiving it. Hello, Miv. Welcome. Okay, so I always have one back channel. I always make it 2 to 31. Look, it's another magic number. I don't have magic numbers all over the place. Oh, of course, it flows directly into the back channel for the encoder. Okay, that makes sense. Which means it's actually just straight into another worker. But it would be much easier just to check first whether it's even getting... Because if it's getting all the way to this point, then there's a bigger problem. Never underestimate the power of printf debugging. Don't let anybody tell you that printf debugging is bad. People became far too obsessed with debuggers when tracing debuggers were invented, and tracing is good. Don't get me wrong. I like a proper debugger, but do not underestimate the value of a good old printf. Yeah. I guess maybe I have to start. Whoa, 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 whoa! Boy, I should have been checking this log, right? That would have been good. 10, 5, 6, 7. I'm a moron. The protocol doesn't have data X? Isn't the protocol just this? There it is. There it is. I found it. Oh my god! Wow, it never occurred to me. The protocol is actually loaded separately. If I change the protocol, it'll cache. I utterly forgot that that was a fact. I change the protocol so rarely. Oh yeah, Miv. You like mix and match. The thing is that a tracing debugger, like a breakpoint debugger, is an active debugger, and printf debugging is passive debugging, and they're just like totally different areas. Like if active debugging is what you need, then you use an active debugger, and if passive debugging is what you need, then you use a passive debugger. Like let's not, let's not uh choose. There are many tools in our toolbox. Oh wait, that should yeah. Okay, so hopefully I just that's genuinely kind of fascinating to me. Of course, that was cached. Man, caching is like the root of all evil. Let me just do a quick recording. It is the same message, 10565. Oh wait. Oh my god. Speaking of caching. Man, caching sucks. There are only two hard problems in computer science: cache invalidation, naming things, and off by one errors. I'm actually like faintly impressed that even with it utterly exploding attempting to record the echo canceled audio, it did not like it didn't actually crash the client, that it did correctly record the normal audio. Like it did shockingly well for being utterly busted. Why did you do this? Testing. Oh yeah, that's a real mess. That sounds like crap. That should sound like crap. Don't be confused. This is supposed to sound like crap. This sounds like crap because this is self-canceling. Both are echo canceling each other. There we go. They got just enough out of sync that it's less ridiculous. Okay. So theoretically, if I make a sound that it will definitely echo cancel, like E, I've apparently lost my ability to make that sound consistently enough. E. Okay, so the cancellation, as you can see, clearly canceled it. Uh, but I should have both versions recorded. Good. I want both. You know what? Give me both on everything. No, don't give me both. You know what? Give me both on everything. Screw it. I want 8 times 2. I want 16 files for 2 tracks. That's not promising. Hmm. Nothing is actually broken. It's just a constant stream of, okay, but why isn't that working? This is the part I utterly haven't tested yet. And I'm using minimized things. Good for me. Let's just try something less ridiculous. Let's try that. Should have probably tried that with the console already up. I always love when the console just gives you nothing. The console's just like, no, no, what's happening? I just didn't feel like it. What can I say? Is it working in Chrome? Is this a browser issue? Of course it's working in Chrome. Okay. Just update the task again. The one with a space in it is the one I want. So, once again, I have to figure out where Firefox is struggling. Thanks, Audacity. Oh, it's not even like there's. It's just Audacity being stupid. Audacity, whatever it is you think you're doing, just like don't. Oh dear. That's not even anything to do with me. It's just Audacity being dumb. Great. Great. Perfect. Thank you. Literally no information. I don't know whether you can hear this or not. I don't think you can, but it's absolutely not functioning at all. So I'm just going to analyze waveforms. So if I... These actually look very similar, to be honest. They look pretty similar. Am I getting... I can't know whether I'm getting the echo cancellation for both or not. Although that first attempt at that was not really working. Yeah, here we go, here we go. Yeah, I remember. I didn't manage to harmonize correctly in the first one, so it didn't really work. Let's even get a smaller area. Just amplify to fill. I mean, they're not the same. That's the important part. They're not the same. It's hard to test echo cancellation by yourself. Try to self-echo. Test star is my entire downloads directory. Well, tell you what, time to figure out what the hell is wrong with the downloader in Firefox. Step 1 is going to be download interface. Oh, I didn't even put the non-minimized version in there. I am L stupid. This is temporary, but whatever, I don't care. Oh, that was a big mistake. Yeah, I just made quite a mess of things. Let's just delete my entire web server directory. This is why this is a test server. There we go. Okay. And no, that one's fine. That's the one I want. So this should now be using the full-fat version of the downloader, which is unhelpful because it's not like it was actually reporting any kind of error. Yes, okay. The download chooser, to my eyes, seems to be working fine. So it could be the like live download engine. Is there a quick way to test that? Yes, there's a very quick way to test that. I can navigator dot service worker dot get registrations 0. More parentheses, please. What is it? Unregister? How do you clear out a service worker? Or is it something on navigator.serviceworker? How do you unregister a service worker? I'm sorry, I forgot to put MDN, so all I get is bullshit. Oh, there is an unregister method on the service worker itself. Okay. So now, good. There are no service workers, which means I cannot download it that way, which means if I go like this, then I'm not using the live download. It should complain that it's downloading as a blob. So the question is, why is it not even complaining that it's downloading as a blob? That's what the question is. Unfortunately, this is still the bundled version, even if it's not the minified version. And among other things, it has all of its async awaits turned into ES5 stuff, so it's not like it's going to be supremely easy to understand this. But it should be easier. Okay, I just need to remember what the entry point is. I genuinely have no clue. It is called download. It's just called download. That's fine. Thanks for the really useful scrolling. Very helpful. I really suspect that it has at least made it as far as the quote-unquote download proper. I know, it's real weird, isn't it, Dan? It's the weirdest RPG I've ever seen. Oh man, this whole thing is streams. This is actually really hard to debug. God, it's all streams. Everything is streams. But also, like, given that everything is streams, how is it even possible for this to fail? Or at least to fail without giving any error message whatsoever? If anything failed, then it should have... I should have done something. Just, like, literally anything. Okay, the service worker should be re-registered since I reloaded the page. Or not. Whatever. Well, that's also very interesting. Is the service worker... What is going on with the service worker? Just general question. Service worker? You feeling okay? The service worker controller is in the right place. I'm gonna, since I did just like blow up that. Oh, was I? I was. Go away, Chrome. Just go away. Was I doing that all? Wait. Was I? No, it was. It was. I don't freaking know what I was doing. I have no clue. Okay, good. I mean, I don't even know what I'm testing at this point. Just absolutely no reaction whatsoever. Let's just set a breakpoint to even see if it made it anywhere. So if it didn't just like blow up inexplicably, it's so strange that it gave like no error messages at all. So let's see if it made it this far. If I reach this breakpoint, then the actual setting up of the download stream per se should be correct. And it just didn't manage to stream it. But I am not even making it to that breakpoint. Let me check the more basic question. Am I making it into the download function? Does the download button do anything? Okay. There must be, like, one of these processors is just doing nothing. It's just, like, not producing any output and also not passing through errors correctly. But no, that doesn't explain it either, because if it was just the streams, then I would have made it to that later point. To here. I made it here. Okay. Let's just step through and see where I actually get. Want to tell me what underscore I is, you bastard? Well, 0 is definitely less than 3. I can say with certainty that 0 is less than 3. I don't know what the significance of this awaiter is, but theoretically... Okay, so that's just breaking out of a loop, which means theoretically it should go here. No, no, it should go to 9. Does it? Yes. This is an Audacity project. That doesn't crash or anything. I don't think I've tried Yallop on uh, Firefox, but is it really conceivable that that's the problem? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it absolutely is. Really? Really? Didn't fail to load anything, it just didn't run. This never returned, one presumes. Get rid of that breakpoint. Get rid of that breakpoint. Get rid of that breakpoint. Yeah, unfortunately, Yallop is also minified. Well, no also about it. It's the other was not minified. Is it possible that the two awaiters are somehow conflicting with each other? Do I really need a debuggable build of Yallop? Do I have a debuggable build of Yallop? Yallop is yet another libarchive port, by the way, which I may have only tested in Chrome. For hating Chrome as much as I do, I apparently only test in Chrome. Asset libs. Yeah, that's not exactly debuggable, is it? It's all minified. Except for the license header. Yeah, this is literally one line of dense code. That's not debuggable. So it yields to Yallop. So that suggests that what's happening here is that Yallop W never resolves. Yeah, that's useless. I should have maybe actually like put that in a variable so I could use it. No, I actually wanted to use the variable x. X equals await didn't work? What are you talking about? Oh, is this how it indicates that it's actually still waiting? The answer is yes, and it's pending forever. Hello, Van Whitman. I'm discovering bugs! Hooray! Everybody loves bugs! Okay. So Yallop simply doesn't work on Firefox, which is really strange. That's normally, like, not the kind of error I'm eligible to, have here. I'm glad I can be ASMR, Dan. This is not relaxing for me since I'm just discovering bug after bug after bug. I don't have my key for this system installed. Really? I don't have my key for this system installed in GitHub? Well, I actually don't need it for now. I can switch it out later. Oh, I definitely don't have Emscripten involved installed, do I? No. Well, I guess y'all get to watch me install Emscripten. You know what? EMSDK is what I actually need. You know what? I just need the EMSDK Git, please. Thank you. Just give me the one link I care about. Well, Dan, if you find these streams relaxing, you'd better subscribe to Yawweasel Dev, because this is the last one I'm putting on the normal Yawweasel channel. I don't want to screw up the Yawweasel channel with random dev streams. Man, that was fast. Okay. So hopefully this should basically just build. Did that just build? Oh no! Oh, I had the same problem in libavjs. What stupid directory does zlib put zlib put the old versions in? It's something like, you know what? I'm just gonna check libavjs. Fossils. Fossils. It is in the fossils directory. Frickin' directories. Ack. I swear I tested this demo on Firefox. I mean, it's entirely possible that I just did something wrong, but it's so weird that YOLOW is just returning, just never resolving, just pending forever. That's really strange. Like, pending forever is the strangest of the things it can possibly do. I'm not completely sure how I should expect this to be showing if it loaded, but I think that here the WASM file would show as well. And it doesn't, which is bad. Oh, wait, here we go. WASM, assets, libs. The spec bleach. It did not load. It didn't load the WASM. The hell are you talking about? It didn't load the WASM. But why? Is it something about the directory? Is there some kind of security thing with the directory and the root path or something in Firefox that isn't in Chrome? Could it be that stupid? Yes, is the answer. It could be that stupid. I don't have a web-based test of this, do I? Yeah, this is a wholly non-web-based test of this. Well, time to turn this into a web-based test of this. Yeah, I'm going to end pretty soon, Kyle. I just keep on ending. I always have this problem that it's like I ended up in a situation where it's like, well, I could just discover the answer to this question in 5 seconds, but then that just leads me to another question and another question. The WASM sounds like something American thinks British people call loading a cannon. So WASM Dan is actually spelled like this, or sometimes like this, or sometimes just like this. It's an abbreviation of WebAssembly, and the word assembly has absolutely no relationship with the English word assembly because computer scientists are just really terrible at naming things. I want type. Is that it? Is that how you make it a module? And if anybody who is here for my dev stream wants to see future dev streams, then look up here, because this is the real path. I'm not going to be streaming dev streams to this channel. I just, wanted to see if anybody would be interested. Give a couple of dev streams here, and then I will move them over. Okay, so obviously there is no this. I am creating Yollop W, which is good. Unfortunately, the way my test works is actually like reading the file system, so this is going to be a very dopey test. Let's make a quick dopey test. Unfortunately, from here, I don't think you can. Yeah, I can't find the metadata for Yollop. Unfortunate. I don't remember whether this is supposed to be a uint8 array or not. That sure is words you just said, Kyle. Windows file. Right, let's just not even do that part. Yes, I do have to do, wait, w.free. And you know what, even just like at this phase, all I'm trying to do is see like, does it load at all? It was just like utterly busted before. Okay, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't have Python installed. Ambiguous indirect export defaults. I am so unaccustomed to writing modules. Why did I write this as a module? You know what? Screw being a module. This is some grotesque indentation here. this is proper awful. Cease being a module, please. Well, I mean, Yollop W did in fact return, and it is loading from a different directory. What happens if I load out of slash rather than... Why would that matter? It's fine. That's very strange. Okay, well, something is going on with... something is going on with this specifically in that setting. That is very strange. I'm also not setting options there. Is there any conceivable universe in which that matters? No. Well, I know what I'm looking at next time I do a dev stream or just any other development on my own. It's why doesn't y'all upload in Firefox? But we fixed like 6 bugs, so good. Making progress. Future dev streams, irregular time on YawWeasel Dev, on Twitch TV or YouTube. Not here. Stream